Hi, Monster Guitars, it's Glenn here, and I'm racing against the clock slightly. This is a little bit of a different thing because I'm not building a guitar. It's Monday, and Christmas is on Friday. And this is kind of Santa's workshop at the moment. I didn't build this. A local luthier named Murray built this. It's a ukulele, an ukulele, if we're being careful, in the shape of a Russian balalaika. Balalaika is, of course, much larger than this, and it's got 3 strings and it's tuned differently. It's a gift for my daughter, and I think it needs a case. So I've never made a case before, but how hard could it be? So I've got a couple of sheets of 7mm plywood. That's just a whisker over 1/4 inch, which is 6.35mm. And I'm not even going to really measure anything. I'm just using rulers for straight lines. I'm just going to draw lines so that it fits and then cut according to the lines. And there we go. There is the shape of my case. So I'm just going to take my jigsaw and cut this out quite roughly. Just like that, 2 pieces. Turns out I didn't need the second piece of plywood after all. I was playing it safe. I was basing the fact that I needed 2 pieces of plywood on my cutting out 2 rectangles. But of course they don't need to be rectangles. They're skinnier at one end. So I was able to get 2 out of the 1 piece. Nice. That's the ugliest surface, so that will be the inside surface on the bottom, which you won't see. And there is a baby cockroach. I had an old piece of 18mm plywood sitting around, which is nice and thick by comparison to the 7mm that I'm using for the front and back, and I will use those to make the sides. I've already cut these pieces about 9 centimeters in width. That should be enough for this small instrument. So I'm over at my miter saw, and I'm not even going to bother about numbers. I'm not going to measure angles or take note of what they are. All I'm doing is clamping this top or bottom down. In fact, this is the top piece, so. And I've adjusted my saw without even looking at the numbers so that it cuts exactly along the line of the side, because that is the angle at which I'm going to have to cut the ends of the side pieces, which I'll do now. Well, that went okay. Yes, it did. I will glue this up. I see all the angles meet nicely. That's just not sitting properly, but it will meet nicely when it's held in place. I'll glue this together. There we are. When that's all dry, I will glue the top on. Okay. I think I'll come back to this tomorrow. Take the clamps off and trim everything and make it a nice shape. Time to round over these edges. Okay, so it's Tuesday, just after midday. It's about 12:30. Christmas is on Friday. I think I'm going to be okay. I've got the box. The basic structure is made. It's, rounded over, looking somewhat nice. Let's cut this thing open. This would be really easy with a table saw, but I don't have a table saw, and this case will not fit through my band saw. So I've drawn some lines, and I'm going to just try to have a very steady hand. That's not bad. Yeah, I can live with that. There we are. Yeah, out of necessity rather than desire. I've already done the opposite side, and it wasn't quite as straight as this one, but it wasn't awful, so, it's going to work. Voila. Starting to look more like a case now. On a rather important note, it fits in the case, which is great. I'm just going to put in a neck rest there. I've used a piece of plywood the same width as the sides, which of course means it's too tall now, so I'll just mark that and then cut it on my bandsaw. Oh, do you think I'll be able to find my pencil? I'll use a pen. That's perfect. I will put a recess in the middle of that piece so that the neck isn't suspended like that and sits more comfortably. This is actually the third piece I've made. I kept making the recess too big. This one is just right. So it sits in there and there's no space underneath the neck. It just sits in there comfortably. I will pad that slightly as well. I'm going to be padding the whole case shortly after I've painted it. You don't really need to prime everything you paint, obviously, but I want my paint to go further, and priming it will enable that to happen because it will further seal the wood. So, I'll start adding some colour later. Okay, that really is just the base colour, and there's still another colour to be applied on top of that. Well, that was interesting. I've never sprayed any kind of glitter paint before. Went on well. I say it went on well, but I think it only went on so well and looks so good because there's already a similar colour base coat underneath. Otherwise it would look terrible, I think. I didn't show you because you've seen one can being sprayed, you've seen them all. But I've gone over these now with several coats of clear acrylic gloss. It's the following morning and I've just applied another coat. It's Wednesday morning. Well, it's about midday now, and Christmas is 2 days away. I think we'll be okay. I know the lighting isn't great in here in the middle of the day because there's a clear patch on the roof and the sun distorts everything, but I've got to get this finished. So, I've just put down another coat of clear on the top, but in the meantime I'm going to start lining the main part. What I have here is, as you might recognize, a bedroll made from high density foam, and I think this stuff would be ideal. So I just happened to have this tartan fabric sitting around. I did some research and discovered that it's the Erskine, or Erskine, I'm not sure how the word is pronounced, the Erskine family tartan. No relation to mine whatsoever, but it was at a charity store. So I bought it because I thought I might use it, and now I am. I wasn't sure how I was going to fix the fabric down. The staples aren't long enough to go through the foam and into the wood, so I ended up getting some quite nice upholstery tacks, and now I need some more to put the fabric into the top one when I line that. Perfect. I've taken some fairly tall plastic binding that I might use on a guitar body. I have to get some more of this tall stuff now. And I'm just using upholstery tacks all the way around to hold that in. I think that's quite effective. I'll put a few more in. I've just got placeholders in at the moment. That's it. That's my first ever case. It went pretty well. It's got clear acrylic on it, obviously, and that will continue to get harder until 2 or 3 weeks when it's properly cured. I just can't wait that long to give the gift, so it's dry, and basically we'll have to be somewhat gentle with it for a little while. That looks okay, doesn't it? Not bad if I do say so myself. And of course, that for which this whole thing was can now go inside. It fits snugly and perfectly, and it doesn't rattle around. There we are. Merry Christmas, Katie. She'll be getting this tomorrow. Tomorrow is Christmas, so I will not publish this, obviously, until she has received it. One important detail, it does close. I've moved the strap from there because it was getting in the way.